All right, thank you for joining me in, yes, it's recording, in yet another video wherein I will be reading a paragraph to you, such as the one located just behind me. Embedded within it are the potential for errors related to grammar, punctuation, syntax, and so forth, so please keep that in mind as you listen to me read. Afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and step out of frame, ask that you review the paragraph independently, and make corrections on your own. Resume once you feel like you've exhausted all the potential errors there are to correct, so that you and I can make corrections together. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll just begin by reading. Excuse me, because I do still have the hiccups. All right, India relaxes immediately, and Scott unwound her from Daniel's waist. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief as Scott takes India back to her enclosure. When he returned to the room, the sheriff's deputies and the others were just leaving. Scott thanked them for their help. Then he turned to his guests and said, "We missed most of the show, but we can still watch the last part," as he flipped on the TV. His guests groaned, having seen enough snakes for a while. Snakes are very sensitive to odors. They are also frightened by sudden movements, the narrator was saying. Scott laughed quiet and turned off the TV. All right, go ahead and pause here to please make those corrections and resume when you're ready to correct with me. Oh, God bless hiccups. Okie dokie. So I'm moving and shaking. Let's go ahead and get started by correcting. All right, so India relaxes immediately. Now here, that's present continuous. We don't want that. We're referring to it we're referring to this activity as having occurred in the past, or event, I should say. So we're gonna go ahead and change that S to a D, that traditional past tense, the ED. India relaxed immediately, and Scott unwound her from Daniel's waist. Now here, this implies that we have more than one Daniel in possession of a waist, right, around your hips. Here we want the singular possessive because there's one Daniel in possession of that waist. So we're going to transfer that apostrophe just to the left of the S. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, I before E. So we're going to go ahead and switch those two. It's I-E. As Scott takes it, again, we're referring to the past. So it's an irregular verb. Takes should be took, not taped, excuse me, T-O-O-K. India back to her enclosure, S, not a Z. When he returned to the room, the sheriff's deputies, so sheriffs, I believe it's apostrophe S, the sheriff, deputies, and the others were just leaving. Sheriff's deputies, I'm confusing it. And the others were just leaving. Scott thanked them for their help, comma. Then he turned to his guests and said, comma, we're gonna segue into that. We missed most of the show, but we can still watch the last part, comma, just within that quote, as he flipped, which would be double consonant, two P's, on the TV. His guests groaned, comma, of course they would, having seen enough snakes for a while, excuse me. Snakes are very sensitive to odors, comma. They are also frightened by sudden movements, comma, close quote, the narrator was saying. Scott laughed, ED, quietly, the adverb, and turned off the TV. All right, hopefully that was helpful. If it was, please give this video a like and subscribe should you want to continue to practice with me. All right, thank you.